someone like Kyrie Irving, how do you prepare for someone like that?
Pray.
Yeah, Kyrie cold, man. Yeah, he's good, bro.
He's one of the best finishers. Figures out a way to maneuver it and finish.
So, Kyrie Irving. There's so many finishes that he can serve to the defender, along with many different combos he can use to get an open look at the basket. And with every single one, there's a high level of difficulty that comes with them. He can hit you with such acrobatic moves that make you wonder how he even pulled it off, use his body to create space for defenders for a pull-up. The way he plays the glass with the English is truly a work of art. And with ultimate confidence, there's not a shot on the floor that he doesn't like. Since the calendar flipped to the year of 2024, Kyrie Irving has been a man on a mission, and although the media won't talk about his amazing play, it's something that we must cover. In the month of January alone, through 7 games, Kyrie has averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds and 5 assists, with a true shooting percentage of 62% and a positive net rating of 6.5. Some might say, well, they haven't had a tough schedule and that's why he's been able to break out like this, and to that I would say that's false. Just because you play a non-top tier team does not equate to you going off in a single game, or for that case, a stretch of games. Granted, you still have to go out there and make the shots, and with each performance stacking on top of one another, defenses are going to scheme against you way harder when you're coming into the next game, which in turn will make it more difficult for you to get open looks. When we're talking about the game of basketball in itself, Kyrie Irving might just be the most, if not one of the most skilled basketball players we've ever seen operate on the court, and it's honestly crazy that his game doesn't get covered more. Of course, some people will be blinded by the extra noise that goes around him and try to ruin his reputation, but when you're able to bypass that and dissect his game from top to bottom, you truly recognize how great Kyrie Irving is and has been playing. With that ability to finish at the rim with his 60% conversion rate inside the restricted area, defenders will bite on every move when going downhill like Paul George does here on this In and Out, and now it's all about focusing through that contact for the bucket and close. The exact same threat of driving the ball can work in his favor when it comes to shooting from deep. As you can see, Norman Powell is anticipating a drive, but with Kai's 42% shooting from the 3-point line, the pull-up over the defense is always a weapon in his arsenal. You have to be extremely careful when you're guarding Irving and letting him get in his zone, because once he's hot, well, he won't even be trying to make the shot, but that magnet on the rim will just pull the ball right in. Kyrie's ability to make the defense look bad will never cease to amaze us, and with these fantastic finishes and brilliant shots he knocks down, it just shows you that there's levels to this. Irving's truly a magician on the court when it comes to finding ways to break down the defender, and it all starts with his amazing footwork paired with that handle. You can't just dribble or make moves in one spot and expect to shift the defender out of your way, as it takes full body motion, but especially great footwork while in the process. By having to create space from the defender initially, Irving used the stunt towards the outside to gain this gap of space. But when Kyrie notices Sabonis shifted over, and with Duarte's momentum coming downhill, he plants inside while getting directly into the spin back, and it's cash money. It's pretty special how Irving ties the footwork in with his handle in a seamless motion, making it look basic at times until we really slow it down to analyze. The bag he carries into the arena on a nightly basis is a very elite one that not many people have, and I'm talking about Hezzy's, where it looks like he glitches on the screen to then blow right past for a bucket, to quick crossovers where Kyrie snatches the defender aggressively to pull up right over them, and then his ability to tie combos together with one action to drain the bucket after the step back. Pretty much anything you could think of, and matter of fact, tell me what's your favorite move Irving uses on the defense. With all those ways, it makes Kyrie nearly unguardable on the court. If you get caught on Irving Island, it can be trouble as Kyrie will snatch back to get OG fully on the land, and then with a quick crossover, Kai gets the step on OG, and since Anunoby is riding his hip, Irving bumps him off to create the separation and then convert the tough lay inside. Other times you'll see Irving call for a clear out with Austin Reeves guarding him, and out this triple threat is the easiest but smoothest crossover you'll see as it totally snatches Reeves, and with a clean look at the rim, it's a money ball. That island Kyrie brings you to can really be the scariest place to be, because out of nowhere he'll feed you this uber quick crossover to then pull up right in your face. You would start to think a physical and lengthy team like the Raptors would be a great match to contain Irving, but when he bumps Trent out the way to Euro into the paint, and then finish this nasty reverse with the English, it shows you that there's truly levels to this art that we call basketball. Plays like this will ALOT make you rethink your entire defensive scheme, but the truth is that you really can't scheme to guard Kyrie. On 12 drives per game, Irving converts 54% of his 6 attempts off these, so it's pretty much a flip of the coin when Irving sets his mind to go attack the basket. Set up the defense how you choose, even throw multiple obstacles in the way of Kyrie going to finish. But if there's one thing I'll tell you, and I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie, and it's that you'll most likely never figure out a way to keep Irving from getting to where he wants on the court. You have to worry about that crafty handle at all times, as he can beat you with it all night. But once Kyrie's at his destination, he is one of the most creative finishers in the league. It doesn't matter if he has to contort his body in midair to avoid clashing with defenders down low, maneuver the ball on his way up to avoid shot blockers, or just all out going in to convert a tough bucket, Irving can get the job done. When pushing out the Knicks, there's 4 defenders with their attention on Kyrie. With him bursting to the rim, it really pulls Randle and Brunson into him. So by Euroing to the paint, it takes Brunson out the way, but now with Hart on his back and Randle right in front of him, this will make for a very tough finish at the front of the rim. So Kyrie leans back away from both of them and throws this off the glass with the right hand for the clean bank. That sort of contact isn't new to Irving, as he can always absorb it to then go grab himself 2 points. And on this catch off the inbound, the initial look at the rim makes Dame lunge out hard. Now with the major advantage towards the basket, Kyrie only has 1 man to beat, and that's Lopez in the paint. So by jumping into his space, it takes away Lopez's ability to jump up, and now it's a clash of bodies for an and 1. It's crazy how focused Kyrie stays on these finishes, and it's even crazier how well he finishes with his left hand on these high degree layups. Throughout his career, Irving has always shown us the adaptability in the air, and when you see how well he can finish with his left hand, it's pretty much identical as his dominant hand in his right, and this just shows you how good of a finisher Irving is when he's around the basket. Blowing past Sohan on this drive here, Kyrie clashes with Collins in the paint, but with his ability to double clutch and hang in the air, Irving can find that space with his left hand to get this off the glass for the difficult 2 points. It's just amazing how elegant and smooth he makes these finishes look, but when he's forced into those extra difficult situations where he has to create something out of nothing, this is where Irving separates himself from many guys in the league. It's truly a difficult task every night for a defender to knock Kyrie off his route to the lane and keep him in front of them. But hey, let's go to Wonderland for a second and say that the defense does figure out a way to keep Kyrie out that paint. Well, guess what? His ability to create shots from anywhere on the floor is truly absurd. Now I wouldn't take it as far to say that Kyrie has a breathtaking percentage from the mid-range, as he's only drained 38% of his 91 attempts, but when you see that he shoots 38% from deep on 3 attempts per game, you can see that his shooting really isn't a joke. It's not that Kai is a poor shooter in the in-between area, it's simply that defenders play him tight and aggressive, so his shots on the floor are going to be more than difficult than others. So hey, you might want to watch out, because things can get nasty when Irving starts operating on that floor. Like, look at the way he snatches this defender, making him play Twister before pulling up for the warm-up J. With those swift and tight handles, it'll leave the defense looking clueless out there when he snatches back out of nowhere. And although he loves to stay creative keeping the defenders on their toes, he can also keep it simplistic by rising up directly after receiving the handoff, and with no landing space, Irving stays focused through the shot to connect on the and 1. It can really be tough for the defense to play Irving when he's coming at them with a handle, because defenders are always worried about the rim penetration, as they should be, but it leaves them vulnerable for snatchbacks, pull-ups, and step-backs in this in-between area. When your momentum is going heavily downhill when you're trying to stay attached, it's hard to recover on Irving when he pulls one of these tricks out the bag, and by the time you get a hand up, it's just too late. As he's pushing quickly down the floor, with Anunoby right on his hip, Kyrie notices Brunson is waiting for him as well, so he has to make a quick move to break away before hitting the double. Well, that's when we see the physicality come into play by bumping OG off of him, and with that daylight of space, it's a pull-up over 2 with no worry in the world. You can try all you want, but Irving will dig deep in his bag to show you something different each time. So when you stop his drive going one way, Kai can feed you this half spin to shake you off of him, and even with your sidekick helping you out, this battle is just too easy. His finishing around the rim is something that defenses just can't stop, and his shot creation is truly one of a kind. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading out. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.